I have literally been up all night thinking about this video, thinking about what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it, how I'm going to tiptoe around offending people, how I'm going to just hold off on telling my story for the sake of others. And I've decided that I'm not going to do that. I've decided that I'm going to tell my story how I see fit, and if it offends people, you know, sorry, but it's my story of abuse, and if you're offended by someone else's pain and suffering, then that, I can't do anything about that. It might sound really harsh, and I hate saying things that could get me perceived in a certain way. I always try my best on my channel to be inclusive and to use language that is not offensive or triggering to anyone. However, a situation happened last night and I'm mad. I'm really angry. It might seem like something that's kind of off the cuff, but I want to talk to you guys about it. I can feel myself getting angry right now. I'm going to keep the person anonymous. I'm going to delete the comment so that no one can go back and read the comment and find the person who wrote this. However, someone commented on one of my videos last night where I was talking about a situation, a very serious situation that happened to me, and basically called me racist for the colour of my abuser's skin. I don't have any say in who does what on the internet. If a certain group of people want to band together and sexualize me as a 15-year-old, that's not my fault. I can't help that. I want to make a few disclaimers. First of all, I'm still really, really sick. You can probably tell. So my voice is a little bit raspy, you know? So please ignore that. Disclaimer number 2, this video is going to be very heavily censored. I'm not going to try and censor myself while filming. However, editing Caitlin is going to hate me because I will have to while editing, unfortunately. I did do a full video about a year ago explaining this whole situation in depth with screenshots, so I will leave that linked up in the cards and down below in the description as well. That video did get demonetized by YouTube, and obviously money isn't everything, but at the end of the day, this is also my job. I would like to earn a little bit of money from this video, even though it is such a horrible situation. But I will have to heavily censor myself. I know that's kind of annoying, but blame YouTube, not me. If you would like some pre-context, if you would like to know exactly what these 50-year-old Indian men, I will say it again, 50-year-old Indian men did, because I know for a fact that they are that, definitely go and check out that video in the description. I think it would be really, really beneficial for you to actually know what I'm talking about before I have to tiptoe and censor myself in this video. I'm going to try and do my makeup in this video. Don't know how well that's going to go, but I'm going to try. I'm obviously not going to talk about the products that I'm using because I'm talking about a very serious situation and I don't want to be like, and now I'm going to use, you know, it's just not really going to go down well. So I've not scripted this. I'm just going to go into it and I'm going to give you some pre-context as best as I can while trying to appease YouTube, you know. So when I was 15 years old, so under the age of consent, even here in the UK age of consent is 16. I think in America is it 18? I'm not too sure. But I was 15, I made a video titled The Furry Friend Tag, and that was with my old dog Max, who has since passed away. And it was a really fun video. It was me sat on my bed in my childhood bedroom and answering questions about my dog. My dog was with me. It is such a sweet video for me because, as I said, Max has since passed away, and so having things like that is really, really sweet to keep as memories and just a really, really nice thing to look back on because he's no longer with us and it's just nice. Now that video blew up. It got 60,000 views, and I thought for the longest time that it was because people loved me and people loved my dog. My dog was so funny. He was like one of a kind, and I thought that was why that video got so popular. A year ago, I discovered that it was not that at all. That was not the reason. I discovered that in my analytics, I could see like really nitpick in depth different things. One of the things that I can see is the age of my viewers, the geographical location of my viewers, and the gender of my viewers. And I found out that I think like 90% of the people who had viewed that video were age 50 plus, men from India. It had been shared in a WhatsApp group. I can't see the WhatsApp group. I don't know what is in the WhatsApp group, but I'm assuming that these men were on this WhatsApp group. And I can also see something called retention, which basically means the part of the video that people view the most. And normally it kind of goes up and then it kind of dwindles down throughout the video until the end. This video was kind of like up, dwindling down, 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 a massive spike, and then nothing after that. I looked at where that massive spike was. It was a video of me on my bed with my dog. I was wearing a top that was quite tight, and there were dog treats on my bedside table. So I leaned back on my bed to my bedside table to reach the dog treats, and my top rode up slightly. I was added to playlists which were highly inappropriate. I was added to it was awful. It was genuinely so awful. The fact that video, I am getting like really upset. But the fact that video was seen like that by 50-year-old Indian men, I will say it again, was heartbreaking to me, to be honest. It was really, really horrific. And I kind of went in depth more in that other video about this whole situation. I provided screenshots to this whole situation to prove my point, that I know exactly who was behind this. And since then, unfortunately, I have had to take that video private, because I don't really want that happening. I don't really want that to be the most viewed video on my channel. I want my most viewed video on my channel to be something that I've worked hard at and that people love for me and for my makeup and for my, anything like that. I don't want it to be because I've been sexualized as a child. Finding that out was highly traumatic. I thought about quitting YouTube, and I reached out to YouTube. They didn't do much. They just told me I could report the playlists. That was it. They didn't do anything for me. I can't control what playlist my video gets put in. If you want to make a playlist saying, I hate Caitlin, like, I can't do anything about that. That's your playlist. If you want to make it public, you can do. There were young people on these playlists, much younger than I was. So like tots in gymnastics were part of these like C playlists, and I did inform YouTube of this. They didn't do anything. I'm assuming that these playlists and these videos are all made by the same group of people, because it was kind of like a collaborative thing. That could be wrong. I don't know. That's the context. I'm sure you can imagine and agree it was absolutely horrific. It was not a time that I value fondly. It was not something that I ever want to go back to. And it was genuinely one of the hardest things I've ever been through, knowing all of this. So that's the context. So I kind of made a reference to this whole situation in a recent video, and I can't remember my exact wording of this. So, if I get this wrong, whatever. But it was kind of along the lines of me saying that I had a really horrible experience on YouTube, and it was 50-year-old Indian men who have done this, which is not wrong. That is a fact. As I said, my YouTube analytics show me that that is exactly the type of person, that is the exact character profile of the people who have done this to me, and I'm assuming many, many others on that playlist. I need to read the comment now because I want to get this right. As I said, I will be deleting this comment pretty much straight away after I say this story. Someone has put, and this has really upset me. So I'm going to take a minute because this really has, it's really upset me. Someone's put, oof, friend. Why would you think it's appropriate to say a bunch of 50-year-old Indian men? You could have just said men instead of calling out an entire race. Yikes. These people are my abusers. I'll call them what I want, because that is correct. I know for a fact that they are 50-year-old Indian men. I know for a fact. The fact that someone has heard my story, a very vague story, this wasn't a comment on the video that I've linked. This was a comment on a video that I kind of spoke quite vaguely about this. But I did say in that video that it was quite a serious situation. The fact that someone would hear a story of abuse, or even if they thought it was just something like not that serious, the fact that I was upset about it and they would paint me as racist for saying who those people are is sick to me. It's sick. The fact that someone sees someone in pain and is suffering and is hurting, and they automatically go to "you're racist" is... I'm gonna have to stop for a minute. Okay, I'm back. I'm trying to keep this like as light as possible. I hope to God that this person was just misinformed. I hope to God that this person just thought I was talking about something very, very vague and not very serious. And I hope to God that this person is trying their best to be a good person and is trying their best to kind of stop racism and is trying their best to be inclusive and kind and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But what people don't realise is when you have this like tunnel vision of I must protect the minorities, you can also really do a lot of harm. And I respect anyone who wants to stand up for, you know, if I was saying like, oh, Indian men, like they're all the same, I would never ever say that. If I was saying it in that context, oh yeah, 100% go for it. However, me sitting here and saying, I know for a fact that these people were these people, and the fact that someone would come online and publicly comment, oof, you know, yikes. Yeah, yikes. Because what they did to me was horrific. What they've done to other girls is horrific. The fact that nothing is done about it is horrific. I agree, yikes. But not for me, but for them. I was really umming and ahhing whether I wanted to even make this video, because a part of me was like, oh, it's just one comment, you know, take it on the chin and leave it. However, as I said, I did not sleep all last night because I was so triggered, and I hate that word. I hate the word triggered, but I really, really was. It really shook me to my core that someone would take a story like that and spin it to make me a racist person. It wasn't said anywhere that I was ageist for calling them 50 plus. It wasn't said anywhere that I was sexist for calling them men. However, I am racist for calling them Indian, which I know for a fact they are. The fact that some description words for people are like not allowed, like race. Like if someone called me a white girl, yes, I am. I am a white girl. That is me. If, you know, these people who did this to me were all from America, I would call them 50-year-old American men. I would call them 30-year-old Chinese women. Like, because that is what they are. It's not me going, oh, I know who I can, like, jipe. I know who I can get at. 50-year-old Indian men. No. That is what they are. Don't ever have the cheek to call me friend when you are taking a situation that has been so traumatic to me and basically calling me the bad person for saying this. And yes, it was one comment. However, I've noticed a trend, and this is where this video is going to get a little bit controversial. I will keep this very, very brief. I live near a town in England called Telford, and if you know, you know. Telford I should start by saying American police and the UK police are very, very different. So I understand if you're sat here in the US right now, you probably won't believe anything that I'm about to say because, like, the situation is so different. However, in Telford, there is a huge gang culture, and unfortunately, it is men from other countries coming in, trafficking, sexually assaulting, even murdering young white girls, and nothing is done because of this fear of being perceived as racist. And this is something that is so close to my heart. Like, I know personally multiple girls who have been in these situations and who have faced this and who are terrified to come out because, you know, in high school, in college, in uni, if you are called racist, that's your whole life over, you know? So people who are suffering and not getting the help that they need. I've not been doing my makeup at all in this video. I kind of knew I wouldn't. I don't know why I decided to do this as a get ready with me. I just hate this whole thing that, like, I can't speak about who has done this to me, or I have to protect who has done this to me because of, like, this societal, like, oh, well, you can't speak bad about these people, otherwise you're racist. No, these people have done this to me. I know they have done this to me. Don't you dare ever, ever, ever come on my channel and tell me that I'm in the wrong. Oof, friend, you know, yikes. Just that, when I'm speaking about something that is so incredibly traumatic for me, something that I have fought for so long and got absolutely nowhere with because no one seems to care about it. Obviously you guys do, but, like, higher ups don't care about this at all. I've tried my best to fight this. No one seems to care about it. And for someone to say that I'm in the wrong for correctly identifying these people is, like, just think. You know, just think. I know that it's so easy on the internet to, like, type a comment, hit enter, like, send, great, and move on with your life. But, like, if I was stood in front of you and I said, like, oh, I had this really traumatic incident with 50-year-old Indian men, would you ever go, nah, can't say that. Can't say that. Like, no, I highly doubt you would. And if you would, you're a horrific human being. Like, I'm just going to say that. I kind of do and don't hope that this person watches this video. Because the last thing I want is for them to feel... I mean, the last thing and the first thing that I want is for them to feel bad. Because I don't want them to feel bad and, like, embarrassed. But I also want them to feel bad because this is a learning experience. And this is a learning experience not just for that person, but for multiple people, hopefully, who are watching this video. I just want a little bit of, like, a mind shift or a mindset change and to not be on the attack all the time. Like, I don't know what she thought I was doing, if I just, like, made up in my head the characters that had done this to me, or if she thought I don't know, assumed that these were the people who had done this to me. No, I know for a fact I would never come on camera and be like, yeah, I know that it was 20-year-old Asian women who did this, and, like, not actually know that. Like, I don't think anyone would do that. I think they just say people. But never, ever, ever go over to someone who is talking about a traumatic experience and say, you're a bit racist there. Oof, friend. Like, I'm not your friend. You're not my friend. Well, I've put 4 colours on my eyes in 20 minutes. I was going to say I hope this video hasn't offended anyone, but you know what? This is my story. If it's going to offend anyone, it's going to offend me first and foremost. And if you're offended by someone else talking about their experiences, like, you need to chill out a bit. You do. You need to chill out. Normally, I'm always, like, tiptoeing around these things, but no, I'm not going to do that today. I don't think. I'm not going to do that because it's the truth. And this is what happened, so here you go. Okay, I just finished my face because I thought I would get more done while talking. I don't know why, because I never am able to like do my makeup when I'm talking about proper serious things. But here we go. I'm still baffled, to be honest. I'm still upset. I'm still just like what? You know what I mean? Like, what? I'm hoping to all hope that this was just a comment that was made without knowing the situation, without really being informed too much, and without knowing the facts, and that they were just kind of like a bit naive. But I've seen this pattern of behaviour so many times. As I said, living so near to Telford, it is such an issue there. It is not me being racist. It is not me being, you know, oh, it was probably 50-year-old Indian men. No, I know it was. I know it was, fully. So I'm just hoping that it was just a naive comment and that it wasn't something malicious to me. This like victim blaming almost. Is that foundation in my hair? I love that. This like victim blaming for things that are just not my fault and not the fault of other people who have been in this situation is absolutely disgusting to me, and just the wording of the comment really upset me as well. If you have something to say like that, maybe, and you're not informed of the situation, just say like, are you sure it was these people? Like, just making sure, like, you know, are you okay? And da-da-da-da. Don't say like, oh, friend, yikes, you know. It's so rude. It is so rude. Please bear in mind, I am a human being. I've been through this and it was horrific. It still is horrific. And I have to live with that, knowing that some people have pictures of me underage, like, still, even though this video is now on private, I know that those images are going around the internet. And, yeah, just be kind to people, like, shut up, like, please, just, I'd never dream of commenting that to someone. And just be kind, be nice, stop being so aggressively inclusive, I guess, aggressively anti-racist. Like, I'm not being who you think I am. I'm genuinely just being truthful and honest about my experience. And I know people think that they're doing good, and I know that people think that they are kind of allies and activists, but it gets to a point sometimes where you are actually putting other people down by doing this activism, and it's really dangerous and it's really scary for people who have been through really traumatic experiences with people who happen to be minorities, and it's really scary. Obviously, everyone needs to be loved. Everyone needs to be raised up and accepted. And maybe it's because I'm a pasty white, girl. But hey, my great-grandparents were immigrants, okay? My great-grandparents came from Ireland. It's not that deep. Like, it's okay. I could pull that card. I could be like, well, my family are immigrant. No, I don't care, because everyone's equal and everyone's whatever. It doesn't matter. But stop trying to aggressively defend people who should not be defended. It's not me being who you think I am. It's me telling my story of abuse, and it's me telling a really horrific story. And I know that the original video, the one that I'll link down below, that has actually helped so many people, and I'm so happy about that. So many people commented on that video and said, I had no idea this was a thing. Oh my goodness me, like, I'm so much more aware now. And that is what I want, because I didn't realise. Obviously, I was 15 in my bedroom with my dog doing a tag video, like, I didn't realise the dangers and the severity of that. And I'm so glad that most people have been so kind and have been so understanding with everything. It's just, yeah. And I know that it's just one comment, and I know that maybe I shouldn't let it get to me like this, but I just can't let it go. I can't just carry on without speaking about it. And I hope that you guys understand, if the person who commented this is watching this, I just want to say, don't take this as an attack. Everyone makes mistakes. Just try and be better a little bit. Try and have a bit more understanding. Like, yes, I'm white and I'm calling out a minority group, but that does not make me a racist, because this happened to me. This is my story of abuse, and it's a very, very serious story, and it's a story that people need to know about, and it's a story that I hold very close to my heart. I came in with the facts. I'm not calling out people just because I think it would be fun, or I've made up this, like, image of these people in my head without any reason. I'm not the sort of person to come on and say false facts. It's something that I hold dear to me as a content creator, like my validity. And so, you know, I'm not going to be, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Hispanics, so I'm just going to say they were Hispanic. Like, no. But yeah, I had to come on here. I felt wrong not saying something about this, because please just remember, we're all people. Yes, we're on the internet. Yes, we're behind screens, but Jesus Christ, guys, like, chill out. Like, stop being so ridiculously inclusive to the point that you're exclusive. It's not the way the world works. So here we go. I had to get this off my chest today. I was going to say I'm sorry. Am I? No. I'm very apologetic. This is me. Like, I'm a very apologetic and easily led person. So at first I thought I was in the wrong. I kind of asked around a little bit and got some people's opinions, because I am very easily led. If someone says that I'm wrong in something, or if someone says an opinion, I am very easily, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like I do change my opinion a lot based on the people around me, and maybe that's a flaw, maybe it's not. But yeah, I'm 90% sure that I am in the right in this, and here we go. So yeah, this is it. This is where I'm going to love you and leave you today, guys. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Be respectful, okay? I'm not having any passive aggressive. I'm not having any just horrible comments. If you have something to say, I'm all for people saying, oh, Caitlin, maybe that was the wrong phrasing. Maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Absolutely, I'll hold my hand up. But when you come off and go, oh, friend, yikes, that's disgusting, especially when I'm talking about something that is so traumatic for me. And I'm getting myself angry again. I'm getting myself worked up again. Can you tell? This is the end of the video. I'm going to end it here, because I will keep ranting and raving and being insane about this. So I'm going to go. I will see you tomorrow for a brand new, happier video. And I'm going to film a big old haul now. So that's going to be, I've got all that out. And now it's time to talk about some nice new makeup that I bought. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow.